right, good morning, everyone. We have a little bit lighter crowd in attendance today. We do have some people online. So thank you for being here. This is the special events team meeting for Wednesday, July 24th. This is a live streamed meeting, so please mind your P's and Q's, but definitely a place for us to meet with the organizers, answer any questions they may have, and ask questions just so we can make sure we're all on the same page for a safe and successful event. My name is Kelly Frank. I'm with the City Clerk's Office as the Clerk Special Event Coordinator, sitting in for Maria Wieg today. And this is just a time for us to discuss details. No decisions will be made on approvals or denials or anything like that. Just helping move the process along for these events that are taking place in about 4 to 6 weeks. So I appreciate everyone being here. We'll go ahead and do introductions. Please make sure that you do speak into the microphone so people online can hear. And we'll start with Boise Parking Services.
Vince Vergara, City of Boise Parking.
I'm Jason Rose with Valley Regional Transit.
Dinko Milkovich, Central District Health.
Joey Eccles, Boise Parks and Recreation.
Dino Sugars, City Clerk Office.
Dre Thompson, Boise Fire Prevention. Kyle Wills, Boise Police.
Cameron Colos, Boise Police.
Matt Sly, Boise Police.
Steve Walker, State of Idaho.
And online, we have Boise City Public Works.
Hi, Ed Graves, Public Works.
And Ada County Paramedics.
Good morning, Cameo Rogers, Ada County Paramedics.
Boise City Emergency Preparedness. Rachel may not have a microphone, but I know that she is tuning in. And Risk and Safety just joined us in the council chambers.
Julianne Hagler, Risk and Safety.
Thank you. Okay, our first event that we have is the 2024 Latino Fest. We have Odette online and some attendees in person. Please go ahead and come up to the desk there and we'll get your presentation loaded for you. And those are microphones for the presentation only, not karaoke.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Iván Melendez, here to represent the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We'll be hosting this year Latino Fest Boise 2024. A little bit about the event. The event started in 2016 and it went up all the way up to 2019, and we had to take a pause due to COVID. But now we decided that we need to bring it back for the community, for the Hispanic community, and actually the community, so they understand a little bit about our culture, heritage, and most importantly, food. So Latino Fest is going to be August 24th from 4 to 10 in Cecil D. Andrews Park. It has become a weighted event. Boise Latino Fest is for the local people, and is focused on cultural enrichment in Boise. It is a family event, so everybody's welcome. It's not exclusively for adults. We have a little bit of everything for everybody. We're not trying to exclude anybody. So we have workshops, food, visual arts, and a little bit about our heritage overall. A little bit about our festival. We have a security plan. We have 40 protection group providing 10 guards unarmed to provide and rove around the park, make sure that everybody's behaving and there's nothing getting out of control. Our emergency plan for any issues that may occur. We have San Alphonsus, we have Plan EMS and an ambulance, right? We have to cover our bases when it comes to making sure nobody gets hurt at the event. Traffic plan. Well, we have Cody. What's the name of the person that is providing the traffic plan? I'm sorry, I forgot the name.
Okay. Tanya with Ada County Highway District. You're working with her?
Cody, hold on.
Do you know who your vendor is?
Cody South.
Sorry.
What's the name of the company?
The company is Operator Idaho Event Specialist.
Okay,
They're providing our traffic plan, and they're working on it still. So we don't have it right now. Trash and recycle, we have contacted Rosa Cleaning, so they are gonna be roaming around throughout the event, picking up all the trash. And the recycle, we have contacted Republic Services, and they're gonna provide a recycle bin and a trash bin, so we can put all the trash where it belongs and keep the park clean and not be worrying about it after the event, trying to clean the park late after. So activities, we're gonna have a cultural yard. We're gonna have a little a map, boards. We're gonna have events for different countries. Event with a cost. All the donations are gonna go to the Cowell School District. And we're gonna have a tribute to Juan Saldana, which was a staple for the Hispanic community here in Idaho. Entertainment, we have like music. We're gonna have A.B. Quintanilla. Everybody knows who that is. That's Selena's brother. So he's gonna be here. We're gonna have a dance contest, and we're gonna have a DJ and a little health hour also. So everybody can move, dance, and enjoy themselves. So the kickoff of the event is gonna consist of Batucada, which is like a little parade. It's gonna start at the Groove. And then we're gonna go down Capitol Street, all the way down to Cecil D. Andrews Park. And that's gonna be the kickoff. Everybody's gonna be doing Bomba Plena, which is from Puerto Rico, which is the country we are celebrating. And once it's done, we're gonna stop at Cecil D. Andrews Park, and we are gonna start the event from there. This is a little map of the event on the park. So as you can see, we're gonna have a kids area. So it's gonna be entertainment for all the kids, face painting, little playpens, etc. Cultural area is gonna have a little bit of an other culture about anything that has to do with the Latino community. In the middle, we're gonna have our aid station centralized, so anybody may have an issue can locate the aid station. That way everybody knows where it's at. We wanna put the ambulance on 6th Street where the Department of Land is, staying right there, just in case something happens, everybody knows. And there's gonna be an access on the corner of 6th and Bannock that is not gonna, and nothing's gonna be there impeding, so there's free flow to the ambulance. Our stage is gonna be in, I forgot the name of that road. Our stage is
Jefferson.
gonna be in front of the Capitol. Thank you. If you look, the stage is gonna be right there, so everybody has easy access, and we have a little space for people to dance and enjoy themselves. That little oval that you see on the next to it is gonna be the green room where everybody's gonna get ready for the event, all the artists and stuff. As you can see, the closed roads, the road in front of the Capitol is gonna be fully closed from Capitol to half of 6th Street, and Bannock is gonna be closed from 6th Street to North Capitol Road, also half of the road. We're gonna have a beer vendor, and that's the location of the beer vendor, and barricades. We were told we need to protect the statue right next to the park, so we're gonna put barricades there, and we also gonna have vendors there so people don't get distracted and trying to get to the statue. And the kids area and the colder place, I already mentioned that. The dumpsters are gonna be located over there in 6th Street on that corner, so all the trash is conglomerated at one location. And thank you for your patience. And does anybody have any questions?
awesome. Thank you, guys. It's great to have you back this year. I know when I first started, you had the bask block packed and you outgrew the space. And then you were back in 2019 at the park, and I'm glad that it worked well for you. I hope that we can get this event annually and growing and continue to make it successful. So we'll go ahead and go around the room. Ada County Highway District is absent today. They are waiting for your traffic control plan, but I believe that she's been in touch with Odette. So that's good. And then we'll have Boise City Public Works online.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Just a couple of quick questions, and also Conrad with Republic Services is not in attendance, but I have a few questions on his behalf that I'll ask after my own questions. Just curious on the beer garden, are those gonna be served in cans and cups, or what's the plan for that?
Is Danny over there?
Yeah, Danny's here. He's coming.
Okay.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. That's
Sorry.
right. We do the same thing, so you're all good.
So the question is, it's going to be mostly cans. I stay away from glass because I don't like glass in big events. And then we are going to sell micheladas, which is just a red beer. It's like a Mexican version of a Bloody Mary. It's going to be plastic. So I do have a contact with Republic Services that I'm trying to get a hold of to get some recycling containers so we can recycle all that.
No, good. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be through Conrad with Republic Services, and yeah, he'll get you set up with all the recycling and trash bins that you'll need. Excuse me. And then also, could you go ahead and on the application, there's a link for you to electronically distribute the event low waste guide. So just any and all vendors, food or non-vendors, could you just distribute that to them? It just helps them kind of figure out best practices for a low waste event.
Yeah. And what link is it on?
Yeah, it's on the special events application that you filled out under the trash and recycling plan portion.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll just
We'll
see
get
it
that
as
done.
Event Vendor Low Waste Guide is the name of it, and you can just click on that and just email that to all vendors, please, if you could.
Okay, I'll check it. I'll check that out.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. And then so that kind of completes my portion. So Conrad, just wanted to make sure, and I saw your email, Odette, as far as I can try to pull that up. So yeah, just make sure that you've got the ACHD right-of-way permit completed, because that's what you need to place the dumpsters in the right-of-way, like on the street.
So just to reiterate, page 14 is where the link is that Ed's referring to. And then
Okay.
on that page, there's a phone number for the ACHD permit.
Okay.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah.
Anything
What-
else?
Yeah, and then just he had mentioned city parking meters, so I'm assuming Vince will address that. And then just get your dumpsters ordered or have they been ordered yet?
Not at the
Mm.
moment.
Okay, you still have a little bit of time, but I would work on that and get that ordered as soon as you can, just to get everything set in place with Republic Services.
Great, thank you.
Great, thanks you guys.
Boise Parking Services?
Guys, I think we have everything ready to go. I sent out the email yesterday, and as soon as we get that paid, we'll be completely set. I will work with Republic Services to let them know where we're going to set the trash dumpster and the recycling dumpster. I seen it on your map. It's a little bit different than where I thought it was at, but I will move it. I will communicate that with Conrad to make sure that his team knows where you guys want those to be at. Everything else is set and we're good to go. Thank you.
I paid yesterday.
Oh, how
Just FYI.
wonderful. Super
welcome.
good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Thank you. Valley Regional Transit?
Hi, thanks for coming. So we have no conflict with any bus routes or anything around Andrews Park. The only question that I had was about the parade. We have a handful of routes that cross both Maine and Idaho. And we've been in contact with Odette over email, talking about how we can make sure that we can pause our buses and allow the parade to go through. Do you guys know how long the parade is anticipated to last?
It's just like 50 minutes. So we're gonna be around 3:30 in the Grove Plaza. We're gonna gather there in that place, and 3:45 we start the march. And I don't know. I calculate around 15 minutes from the Grove Plaza to the park with the march.
Right.
And we just walking on the street. We will have, as I told you, 2 guides. So it's gonna be 2 in the front, 2 in the back, on each side of the street, of the 8th Street, where is already open and cars are gonna be there. We are not we're not closing any street or something. It's gonna be on the La Banqueta. How do you say banqueta?
The sidewalk.
The
The
sidewalk.
sidewalk, yeah. And yeah, I calculate around 15 minutes, maybe even less, but that's from 3:45 to 4. And the idea is to go to at 4 and kick off the whole festival.
Perfect. And you said 15 minutes start to finish, so passing Maine and Idaho is probably going to be a couple minutes tops. I don't see
Yeah.
it at all.
I don't think it's
Um,
gonna be that long.
Yeah, it sounds awesome, by the way. Super excited. So we're gonna have we'll put a road supervisor out on the street so they can help guide traffic of our buses and make sure there's not conflict with the parade. And I can put you in contact with that road supervisor so your guides can kind of know who's out there. And
Thank
we'll
you.
try to get some additional staff down there as well. That's the only thing I saw. The only other comment that I have is that we would be happy to promote the event with our transit system as a way to get down there. You know, we have a handful of routes that serve the area, especially down to like the Main Street Station area. So if that's something you guys be interested in, we can talk offline.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Good morning. Thank you for your presentation. I sent you guys an email on Monday morning, just with a summary of what Central District Health needs as far as the food vendors go.
Okay.
So just do me a favor and submit those documents at your earliest convenience.
Okay.
Our front office is very, very busy right now. So we need to have a clear picture of how many food vendors you're going to have. Also so that our inspectors can devote that time to be available to do the inspections.
Okay.
So just please submit that at your earliest convenience. And then, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me.
I will get it done today, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will send it today. We have 15 food. Well, it's around 13 food trucks are all around the streets, as you can see in the map, and it's like 2 or 3 non-food trucks, but they are gonna sell food, and it's around like 5 food vendors that they are gonna serve beverage and fruits and small stuff. But I will send that today. I just needed some information of them, but today it's ready.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi there. It looks like we still need the certificate of liability insurance for that indicates the city of Boise as the additional insured. So,
Okay,
and a
so
lot of
we need
times I
to,
know that can't
roll-
happen until about 30 days or the month of the event. So just get it to us at least a week or so before the event. If you have any questions about that, you're free to send me an email.
Thank you, ma'am, and we'll get it done.
Thanks for being here this morning. As far as parks, we don't have any comments. Summer and our team will continue to work with y'all as we get a little closer to the event.
Thank you.
Cameo.
Good morning. Just a couple questions for you. We've been talking via email, but is Bannock going to be closed? Are you guys closing Bannock Street?
One lane, only one lane on Bannock.
Okay, so Battalion Chief Jonas Detman and Rachel's not able to talk, aren't there? We're going to take a look at the map. We may have a different suggestion on where to put the ambulance, just due to past events that we work with. That might be a little bit better for access if we needed to come and get a patient. So we'll look at that and we can talk about that a little bit offline. And then I believe you guys said St. Al's was doing your medical, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
If you can send me that information over, that'd be great, and I can take a look at it. And then who's providing the ambulance?
I think it's Ada County EMS, and we're working, one of our board members is working on that right now.
Okay, so that would be my department. So I'll double check and see if we're doing that. And if not, I have a list. I think I sent it to you guys of people that do standbys as well. So we can have the rest of this conversation offline. But I'm looking forward to you guys' event. Should be great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right. Great.
Yeah, good morning. I think for us, it sounds like you guys are gonna have some food trucks or trailers there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just understand that, you know, if they're cooking with grease-laden vapors inside a truck or a trailer, they need a fire department inspection, of course, with the city clerk's office licensing as well. So just make sure they have that. And it's a green sticker this year. And then spacing wise, when you line them out, make sure there's about 10 feet
In
in
between
between
each.
them so that if something happens with one, right, it doesn't.
It doesn't
spread
commute to the
another.
other.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of our thoughts. And then last thing is just due to the amount of people and other things we'll have to look at when we come for inspection, you'll need to apply for the Boise Fire Special
Event.
Events Permit. And so I can give you that link, or Jesse Tappert, who's normally here that works with the special events, will get that to you. And then you set your inspection time, normally a little bit before, so we can look at the site and make sure everything's good to go.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just for clarification, is your parade 8th or Capitol? Where were you planning on that parade coming up from the Grove?
It's
Capitol
8.
Grove? No.
So from Grove, you go through 8, and then you go to Jefferson. No, it's not Jefferson. It's Bannock, sorry.
Bannock.
Yeah, through 8, then Bannock, and then the park.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, just up 8th where it's all closed to traffic. So, so we'll want to just talk offline. I'm with our traffic division. So, both with the road closures and with that parade, we'll just want to have a good conversation to make sure that all your attendees are safe. But we're glad to see you back and looking forward to your event.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hey guys, just a couple of questions about the alcohol service. Do you guys have a vendor selected for that, or?
Yes, so I actually own a restaurant in Caldwell.
Okay.
And I have a liquor license for that, and I will be using that to be the vendor for Latino Fest.
Okay.
And I was the vendor back in 2019.
Okay.
So I'm excited to be back.
Okay. And then regarding the beer garden, are you planning on using the entire park for alcohol consumption, or are you going to make a separate beer garden?
No, we're planning on using the whole park, and we do have a game plan on barricading it in a proper way, additional to securities in the entrances wherever there's ways out, so nobody walks out with alcohol or tries to come in.
Okay. And then with what Fire was speaking about with the food truck spacing, so just make sure that those 10-foot gaps in between the food trucks, that we have some sort of barricade there to continue it all the way around, whether it be more of the bike rack or you can use something else if you choose to. And then will you be wristbanding with security? Is Fortis going to do that for you, or do you have somebody else that's going to do that?
So additional to the security that we're going to have, I'm going to have a couple of securities securing the beer garden. And they will be checking IDs and putting on those wristbands. I am trying to get custom wristbands, so they're very different from something you can buy like at Searchers or whatnot. So yeah, we'll have that, and we're also going to have cameras installed facing people purchasing. So everything's going to be documented, recorded. So if anything happens, we'll have something to look back at. So
okay, sounds good. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. This is going to be a great event, so we're glad you're back and doing this again. I spoke with Ed Moreno. He's our downtown neighborhood contact officer, and he plans on having a patrol car set up as a display, just as a community outreach for
Thank
that. And then we can talk a little bit more about this offline, but in the past, I know we've also provided some officers as well in the past. It's been a couple of years ago, but I think we had a sergeant and 4 officers back then, and they helped between the times of like 4 and 8 o'clock, I think is when the time was. So, but we can talk more about that offline. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, and thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that very much.
So just a quick commentary. We are reserving actually 5 spaces on the 6th area, on the 6th street, sorry, for ambulance, for a mammography truck, and for if you want to have a car of police, for the police. So for all emergencies, it's going to be there on that street. And I don't know if he's there, I guess so, but we used to work with Officer Moreno, with the police, and maybe he's there or not, but we always work with him. So if you need to have patrol or anything, there is a space for you guys.
Okay, thank you very much. That's great. I think Marino will be working with you guys directly on that too. So for him. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, great presentation. Got a lot of questions as it kind of deals with the Capitol building. So as far as the roadways being closed near or around the Capitol, that has to be approved by the Director of the Department of Administration now. I will have that done this week. I don't see any issues with it, but I just need to make sure that you're aware of that. For your security groups, we had an incident, one of the last events, where a private security company tried to enforce rules on Capitol grounds. Please make sure that your security groups are not enforcing rules on Capitol grounds. We have our own teams. Boise Police and State Police work together as well on that, so I'd appreciate that. I would encourage you to reserve the south steps of the Capitol. To do that, it would be cms.idaho.gov. The reason for that is there's likely going to be a protest in or around the area still, and this will give you guys the first right to the steps as it's reserved.
Okay.
So it helps law enforcement and security teams make sure that your space is safe. As far as the barricades around the statue, I'm not sure where that came from. If you're putting barricades up, I would just ask that you, like your schematic shows, they're in the roadway.
Yeah, they'll be on the roadway. They won't be on the grass.
Okay. Yeah. As far as barricading off the statue specifically, you don't need to do that. We encourage people to look at our monuments as long as they don't cause harm to them. But I appreciate the thought behind it. And I just want to clarify that the vendors are going to be on that east side of the Y. You're going to have food trucks there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I also saw that you have food trucks or vendors on Jefferson next to the stage and the green room. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit past that, not like right next to, but within 20 feet, I will say.
Okay. Generally, they steer away from putting vendors on Jefferson. But if you can limit it them, that would probably be best. But being that your stage is there, that'll probably take up most of the space, is my guess, assuming that the stage is in the roadway.
Yes, in the
Okay.
roadway.
That's it. I just recommend you reserving the steps. I can leave you with my card so we can have a conversation offline about any other questions that might pop up regarding state property.
Yes, please. I will love that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Last time we had food trucks over there, so we didn't have any problem there in Jefferson.
Yeah, it's just they try and steer away from it if possible. But if you
Okay.
get some over there, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's usually steered up. You can't have them on the Capitol side of the sidewalk, but where you guys are on the Andrus side, it's permitted, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone. Rachel Holford with the Office of Emergency Preparedness will be reaching out to schedule a safety and security meeting. So it's just to dial in a few of these details that we're talking about, get your guys' finalized map, make any adjustments that you need. So please feel free to, when we get that scheduled, reach out to your traffic control vendor, your alcohol vendor. We'd love to have you as well, just so we can talk. And we usually do that either Teams or in person. So just watch for that invite. And if you guys need anything else, please don't hesitate to call or reach out to me. I'm happy to help.
Well, thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next we have the 2024 Spirit of Boise Balloon Classic with Pete Mills. Welcome, Pete. Dina will have your presentation up in just a second.
All right, thanks again for having us back in consideration for what will be the 33rd annual Spirit of Boise Balloon Classic. So we're really excited to get these balloons back in town and up in the air. So if we can go to the next slide here.
There is a
Oh,
remote
yeah,
right
there we
there.
go. All
Hopefully
right.
navigating. Perfect. Thank you.
So this year, the event is August 28th through September 1st. The Night Glow will be August 30th on Friday. The event, we've kept the event free to the public, alcohol free. It's just a great 5-day festival that spans over those dates. That we kick off the event on Wednesday with tethered rides for kids, so the balloons won't actually launch that day. We give approximately about 3,000 rides to the kids with our 25 balloons that are out there. So it's really great to see them because in their minds they went up 10,000 feet, even though it's more like 12. But it's great to see those smiles. We launch every morning from Thursday through Sunday. Again, with Night Glow being Friday evening, weather permitting. So let's go next. So for the event, how we get the message out. So we have 6 radio stations that we own and operate in the market. So we get the message out about the event and more importantly about parking, traffic, how to get in and out of the event, times, what's going on. Through those stations, through our social media, on air, station websites, and then also with our partner CBS too. So there's an outline of the tentative schedule, again, all weather permitting for launches in the morning. Event sponsors, we've had some great sponsors that have been with us for over the years. Town Square Media, we help produce the event. City of Boise, thank you for being a sponsor. So Cape Credit Union, Idaho Lottery. Interesting this year, we actually have a scratch ticket that's balloon themed for the Spirit of Boise. So that's going to go out statewide. We're really excited to see that. CBS, Idaho 2 News, Idaho Tents and Events, and then we'll have various other vendors. Lori Spencer with Lighter Than Air America handles everything with the balloons. I'll be the event coordinator and handle everything that's on the ground. The insurance carrier that we have, we're going to use the same one. We're just waiting for the certificate to come in this year, so we'll forward that along. The food vendors, we have 2 daily morning food vendors, up to 2. For Night Glow, we usually have around 30. We'll have 2 vendors in the morning that are merch vendors each morning, and then about 25 other merchandise vendors for Night Glow. So for facilities, we'll have 38 portable restrooms and 8 additional ADA accessible restrooms, 8 hand washing stations. The refueling area, last year we did the majority of it on site. Luckily, we brought AmeriGas on this year, so they'll be doing it on site. We have a plan to do that in softball fields, closures, all signage. That's how we used to do it. So we've got everything set up for that portion of it. Parking will be prohibited and limited during the event. So Night Glow, we pretty much shut down parking within the park outside of staff and emergency access vehicles and things that we need for that. Each morning it will be limited and we have it clearly directed for ADA access within the park. Setup is Tuesday, August 27th. We'll set up our pilot briefing tent, our chalets, PA system, sound stages. We'll have 1 generator on site running during the event. We add an additional for the stage during the Night Glow event. So activities, again, we'll have food vendors, we'll have our radio stations out, we'll have vendors that are out. Sanitation and waste management. We usually use 100 of the cardboard trash containers, 50 recyclables. We have 1 40-yard dumpster that we'll have on site, and then 1 correction on this, it's a 30-yard recyclable for that. We've sent over the map for placement of those within the park. And we're working with Parks and Rec. I sent an email over to Summer because we were asked if we had some still on site from 4th of July, if we could use those. If not, we'll go pick up the ones and drop them off. Again, we do have a PA system on site that we run in the mornings. A lot of that's for safety as well, to get the balloons set up where they need to be. We do not do alcohol sales, and there shouldn't be any impact on metered parking outside of the park. We do have ADA parking access facilities. For emergency and security, we use MAV. So later on in the presentation, I've outlined a sample of how we have them stationed for people pulling in out of the park. And it separates out between morning launches and the Night Glow event. So we do have a follow-up meeting with Rachel and the rest of the team on the 31st to really dial that in for this year. We do send out a neighborhood notification letter to all the apartments that are around Ann Morrison Park, as well as Crescent Rim, just to let them know what's going on. And we have our contact info in case there's any issues with any of that. This is a sample of the area of impact at Ann Morrison. Then this is a sample of the morning launch closures where we have our barricades up, where we have staff parking, sponsor parking, and going in and out for the event. This is the traffic control plan. We're waiting for our official 2024 version. Really nothing's changed on this plan. So we will close down for the Night Glow event, the left turn lane coming off of Americana and the right turn lane going into Ann Morrison. For the Night Glow event, we do have signage up, some of the electronic billboards as direction for morning launches as well. So those will be updated daily. This is a list of basically what we have at the event, how many people, staff, and things like that will have parking with sponsors and staff within the park for the mornings as well. And that's it. There's some follow-up information after this with daily detail, Night Glow detail, but there's a lot of these specifics that we'll follow up and dial in on that 31st meeting.
Excellent. Thank you, Pete. We appreciate you being here again and all you do to bring this event back to the city. So we'll go ahead and start with the ACHD. Tanya had said that this is obviously outside the main jurisdiction. She'll want a copy of that updated traffic control plan when you get it. But that was the only thing that she needed as of now. So
perfect.
All right. And on to Ed with Public Works.
Hi, Kelly. Hey, Pete, thank you for that. I do have a couple of questions for you. One, it looks like on your application, you stated you have 2 volunteers managing trash and then Parks will do the rest. Like, is that confirmed with Parks or is that the plan still?
That's what we've done in the past. So the real concern is Night Glow. As the vendors break down, that sort of thing, and the people that are there, that's when we put out the majority of the trash cans. So every single morning we'll adjust the amount that we put out. So we do have 2 people on site, and then Parks has helped us out in the past to get that done.
Okay. I just want to make sure that 1, that system is working for you, and 2, that system is working for Parks. So, yeah, being so close to the river and so many people, obviously, like that's a huge concern to make sure that any full trash boxes or the recycling containers are managed quickly for any overflow potential. And then also, again, I just want to make sure you had mentioned a 30-yard recycling roll-off, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you know, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not really there ever to look, but I want to make sure that just doesn't get full with overflow trash. I mean, do your volunteers know what the recycling roll-off is and what the trash roll-off is and how they should put the recycling material loose into the dumpster and not bagged?
Yeah, we've been at about 60% capacity on the regular trash one, the 40-yard roll-off, and then we've never hit even 50% on the recyclable portion of it.
Okay, cool. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, that's all I've got for you as far as Public Works. I'll send you an email here soon with some other stuff, but then I'm gonna a few questions from Conrad with Republic. He wanted to know, 1, have you ordered your dumpsters yet? Or the roll-offs?
We have not. I sent Conrad. I know he's out. I did send him an email the other day just to get some clarity on a couple of things. And then I also included a copy of the map for placement for those.
Okay.
As soon as I hear back from him, then
Sure.
I'll get this ordered.
Okay. Yeah, and also he did mention he only saw 2 of the 3 dumpsters. So is there 2 or 3, or I guess roll-offs that you're ordering?
So we have 1 40-yard and then the 30-yard recyclable.
Okay, okay.
So, and they'll be stationed, the map that I have, we did revise that over years past. So it'll go in some parking spaces that are on the fountain side of the horseshoe loop at the top. So it's pretty specific placement for those.
Okay. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, that sounds great. And then I know the whole where you're getting the trash boxes and the recycling bins from. Yeah, I guess we still need to figure that out as far as if you're getting the trash boxes delivered and the roll-offs, or how's that working?
So we've always picked them up in the past.
Okay.
Now, one of the changes that we made last year, and I believe the year before, is typically there were some leftovers from 4th of July that we held over for the event that are already there on site at Ann Morrison. But like I said, we just reached out to confirm to see if they're there on site or not.
Okay. No, that sounds great. And so all of the trash boxes and recycling containers will be, either picked up from Republic Services, or we can see if whatever Parks has left over. But again, I will email you with this with Conrad, and we'll get Parks, and we'll make sure that we've got everything ready to go for you.
Yeah. And then I believe we've typically, it would be the Tuesday after the event, since Monday's a holiday. Our team typically picks us up and we take them over. I believe it's for Art in the Park after. So we always have a plan and a team to get those on site and off.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that sounds great. Awesome, Pete. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Vince.
Pete, thanks for taking my call and helping me understand the footprint of the event. So we're good to go in parking. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
Hey, Pete, looks like there's no traffic or any lanes getting shut down around the park, so no impact to any of our bus routes. We got your email on Monday about no need for a shuttle, so I think we're all good there. So yeah, no other comments from me other than that we'd be happy to co-promote because we have a few routes. We got 2 that serve on the west side of Ann Morrison and 1 to the east. So if you're interested in any kind of promotion of transportation to get there, especially from like the Town Square Mall area, we'd be happy to partner.
Great. Yeah. If you can send over that information and then we'll get on our station websites and,
Awesome.
and get that out to the public.
Will do. Thanks.
Hi, Pete. Thank you for the presentation. We do have your notification of the event. Have you submitted a final food vendor list?
So yes, I sent that over to Natasha actually this morning. So she's got a copy of it there. Now that one, there's always a couple last minute changes that go along with these. So, we have to plan the backup plan. So we'll keep updating that on a regular basis as we go along.
Okay.
But there's roughly about 30 food vendors, and it's all listed out.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi there. Hey, we've been in contact. Looks like you're gonna get me that COI by the end of the month. So we're all good to go on my end.
Correct. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Pete. I know you've been working pretty closely with Summer on this, so I kind of wrote down some of those questions that you have for Parks, and if we have any leftovers. So we'll follow up kind of offline when she returns and when we get some answers for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks. And I got your email yesterday with everything, so we'll get everything taken care of on that side.
All right. Thank you.
Cameo?
Good morning, Pete. We'll just go through the medical plan at the safety and security meeting.
Okay, great. And we plan to use Victory so far this year. We're just waiting on our contract till after that meeting just to make sure if there's any adjustments that we have all that done.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Morning, sir. Looks like we already got your permit on our side for the fire. Appreciate it. Looks like you had inspection at 1600 on the 27th, and I think that's what we've done in the past, so that'll work for us. As far as food vendors, as you know, if it's a food truck or trailer that's cooking with grease-laden vapors, make sure they have the fire department inspection. It's a green sticker this year, so when you get those food vendors, just clarify with them. Otherwise, they might have to leave the site. So
yeah, we really cracked down on that plan a few years ago.
Yeah.
When that was first implemented. So I'd say about 95% of the vendors have been at other events. So we already know that they have their stickers because they've been inspected. So,
perfect.
and then we have, at least 10-foot separation and that on site.
Perfect. And then my only other question was the refueling area. So you will be refueling on site. Looks like a great spot. Just ensure that there's no ignition sources within, I believe in the past, they called for like about 100-foot, no ignition sources. So when you're refueling, making sure no cars are running and anything else funny going on through that area. But
Absolutely. Yeah, we have no smoking signs. We'll have barricades that go up during that. So
perfect. Yeah, nothing else. Thanks.
perfect. Thank you.
Good to see you again, Pete.
Hey, good to see you.
Just a couple questions real quick. Have you contacted React by chance to help with traffic on the night glow?
I haven't. So I was planning on hitting that in the 31st meeting.
Perfect.
So I'm assuming that's going up towards Crescent Rim and is what we need to look at for that portion of it.
Yep, that's perfect. And they did the 4th of July and did great. And then we'll just talk on the 31st, a little bit different outflow plan that worked fantastic for the 4th. It just kind of changes things a little bit, not a lot. So
Okay,
we'll
great.
touch base on the 31st. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Nothing for me. Thanks. Great event.
Thanks.
Hi, Pete.
Hey.
We'll talk more on the 31st as well, with staffing and things like that. So, great presentation and thank you.
Thank you.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I'll have some information for that meeting as well with, based on last year too, when people showed up. So we have a proprietary tool that we can measure actually foot traffic by the hour based on cell phone. So it'll give us a good idea of how many people, when they show up, when they leave, and when they're out.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Great,
Wow,
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And yep, we're all excited and looking forward to the 31st to dial in a few more details. So appreciate your time, Pete. We'll see you then.
Fantastic. Thank you all.
All right. Next up, we have the U of I Vandal Block Party. Welcome, Sandy. Thank you for joining us again. And Dina, I'll have your presentation up in just a second. Literally a second.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Sandy Larson. You guys already know that, but I am the Director of Events at U of I down here in Boise. So this is our second year for the Vandal Block Party. Last year was a pretty big success, much more than we expected. So we're excited to be back. It serves as a kind of a welcome back to our students for the semester or for the year. It also is a kind of end of summer celebration for our faculty, our staff, our parents of current and former students, all of our stakeholders, donors, et cetera. It is very family friendly. So we anticipate a pretty good crowd this year. Last year we expected about 400 and we think we had about 700. So hopefully we come in that ballpark between 500 and 700 again this year. And so I will get started with, here is a map. We're changing things up a little bit this year with the beer garden. Instead of having, contracting out a bartending service like we did last year, Boise Brewing, we're going to partner with them since they're on the footprint already. We're going to partner with them and keep the beer garden on the Boise Brewing side of the block between the alley and 6th Street, 5th Street, 6th Street. And so we'll have fencing up there to contain all of the beer in that area. And we had met with Cameron and Kelly and kind of talked through that to kind of make things a little simpler and a little easier to kind of keep that contained. Last year it was a little bit tight. So this year we'll open that up, but Boise Brewing will be doing all of the beer checks, wristbanding and things like that. So they will have a table outside of their footprint of their building, but they'll also be serving inside of their building. We have worked with ACHD and AWP Safety, and they are, I believe, I can't remember if I've sent the safety or the barricade plan to ACHD, but I will. They're kind of amping things up, closing the streets and directive and all of that on 5th Street, 6th Street, and in the alleyway. So if I haven't sent that, I will send that. We have reserved 9 trash boxes and 9 recycling containers from Republic. I will pick those up. We have volunteers that will be helping keep those emptied every hour, about on the hour. We have the use of the the dumpsters from Talk, which owns the building that the University of Idaho Law School is in, we've received permission to use that. So that's where people will be putting the trash and kind of refilling that. It shouldn't, last year we didn't even come close to filling it, so I don't think we'll have an issue this year. We will have 4 food trucks on site. Last year, we learned a couple lessons based on how they were set up, so we're going to space them out a little bit more to give them better visibility. 2 will be in front of, right across from Boise Brewing, and 2 will be over by Foreman Function and the Wilder, and not to block off the Wilder, it's because they will be open during the event, so we'll try to keep it down from their front doors, but Foreman Function will be closed, so we'll keep them down there. All of those 4 food trucks have their required City of Boise eating and drinking mobile license, and as well as fire permits, except for one that's not necessary, which is the snow cone place. I have submitted the certificates of insurance for both ACHD and the city. I believe you guys have those on file. All of the neighbors on the block have been alerted about the event. I've applied for the fire permit. I have submitted my emergency plan. We've got the citizens use permit. Sorry, I guess I could go on to this. And I think that is all. The setup will begin at 3 o'clock. We want to keep it to a minimal disruption for the block since there is an apartment complex on the footprint and other businesses that are running. So we'll close it down at about 3 o'clock. AWP will be there to block off the streets at that point, and right after that, then we'll set up the fencing, and the food trucks will start coming in. I would like to set up the walkthrough with the fire department at 4:30 last year. We got a little bit ahead of ourselves and they came early and we weren't ready. So lessons learned this year, we'll have them out after we're all set up. The party will kick off at 5 o'clock. We will just have one solo artist on the stage. The stage will be an 8x8. It'll be minimal. We will not have a tent over. The biggest tent we'll have on site is a 10x10, so nothing that needs to be staked down or anything. But he will perform from 5 to 8. 8 o'clock promptly will shut down the street or shut down the party and start opening back up the street. As I mentioned, Boise Brewing is serving the wine and beer, and they'll keep it in the designated area. At 8 o'clock promptly, we'll start tearing down, and AWP will be back over on site at about 9:15 to take down the barricades to make sure that everyone is off the footprint and that it is safe to open back up. And I believe that's all I have today.
All right. Thank you, Sandy. I especially liked all the blue and orange you used on your map. That was a great touch.
No, I don't recall that.
No, we appreciate the event and just love having, honestly, U of I there and just enhancing that area of downtown. So thank you for that. Tanya did message me from ACHD. She said she has what she needs in order to permit your event. So she'll just be working on processing that.
Perfect.
Okay. And then we'll go to Ed with Public Works. Okay.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you for the presentation.
Sure.
Quickly, so the beer and drinks, are they being served in cans or cups?
I do not know that. It's Kate Sharp, and I don't know what she's done in the past when she's had like Hoptoberfest and Tree Fort. I'm not certain. I know that was addressed last year, so I will talk with her. Do you know what they've done in the past?
I do, but I'd have to look it up. Again, I think that you have...
I didn't think about it until you had talked about it in an earlier presentation. So I did make a note of that, and I will find out.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And then also, will you just make sure that your volunteers just make sure they know which dumpster is the recycling dumpster, and that, you know, when they're going to actually dump the recycling material, that it goes in loose and it's not bagged when it goes into the recycling dumpster.
Sure.
The trash obviously needs to be bagged, but the recycling needs to be loose.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Other than that, I'll just wait to hear from you about how it's being served, but thanks, Andy.
Okay. That was the you and Conrad. Okay, perfect. Vince, go ahead.
Sandy, we don't need anything from you on parking. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Same with VRT, no impacts, but I would also say happy to co-promote and get people down to the site. Main Street Station's right there, and we have a lot of great reps there. So let me know if you're interested.
Thank you.
Hi, Sandy. Thanks for the presentation. We do have your notification of event, food vendor list. As a matter of fact, I just checked and they've already been inspected, so we don't need to go out there for any inspections.
Okay,
So thank you
perfect.
very much.
Thank you.
Hi there. Yep, we do have your COI and it looks good, and sign off on that one.
All right, thank you.
Great presentation. Parks, we don't have anything to add.
Thank you.
Cameo?
Good morning. Just one quick question. Will you have volunteers in your emergency booth that are CPR certified?
I am not certain. I can check on that. Is that a necessity or is that just a request?
No, we follow a medical matrix. I will send it to you and we can talk offline as
Okay.
well. So the required for this event would be CPR certified personnel and an AED. And we can work with you on that. We have a few suggestions we've used with other events to get that.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hey, good morning, Sandy.
Good morning.
Thanks for following up with the food trucks, make sure they got their inspection. For us down there, it's in that space because it's tight is access. I think we talked about that last year. So
Right.
just ensuring that with the removable barricades and everything. And then my only other point was the 10 by 10s, even if they're just small 10 by 10s, they don't have to be staked down, of course, because you got a bunch of asphalt there, but make sure they're weighted down,
Right. Yeah, they will be weighted down. I do remember last year we had the weights on each corner of those tents.
Yep,
So there'll be
perfect.
7 total,
Yeah,
but
that
they
way
all
it doesn't
came with
become a
weights.
big kite and everything happens.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it gets windy.
yeah,
It
it
could get
does.
windy down in that area.
Yeah. Other than that, your permit, the special event permit, I haven't seen it come across. Did you say
Okay.
you applied for it?
Yeah, back in March.
Okay. Well, then that's maybe wise because I
Okay.
haven't looked that far back.
Johnny
so-
on the spot. I'm
Yep.
really
Yeah, no
ahead on
worries.
everything. Not my only event of the year, so I
Yep.
try to get everything done early on. So I
Sounds
will.
great.
I can bring it back to the top of your inbox if you'd like.
Yeah, no worries. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Nothing from me. Sounds like a great event.
Thank you.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
Appreciate you reaching out early. Everything looks great. I think the adjustments are going to be a positive change. So nothing for me at this time. Kate just get her permit in. She knows to do that.
Right. She
And
said she applied for it and she thought it might be here by today, but she hasn't alerted me yet.
yeah,
so.
with plenty of time, no rush. So everything looks good. We'll fine tune the 4 corners around the beer garden for the barricades and stuff, as
Okay.
we get close to it or the day of. And other
Okay.
than that, looks great. Great job. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
Nothing from me. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Yes, please continue just to work through those final details. And if you need anything from us, reach out through the special events or my email. I'm happy to help out.
Okay. I
Appreciate
did
you.
forget to mention also, we do have 4 security guards. We amped it up from last year. So we'll have 4 security guards on site to help manage that whole entire footprint. They were super helpful last year, but because the size was bigger than we anticipated, we got a couple more this year. So one will be inside the building to make sure that there's not, the building is open to the public that night. The restrooms will be used, open to the public as well. So we want 1 security guard in there and 3 will be on the footprint. So they were great help kind of maintaining that crowd. So just an FYI on that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Thank you.
Okay, our final presentation today is the 2024 Art in the Park Festival. Thank you for joining us again, Andrea.
Okay, there we go. Thank you for having us. So Art in the Park celebrates 70 years this year as Boise Art Museum's primary fundraiser. The dates this year are September 6, 7, and 8. The event is held in Julia Davis Park. We tend to anticipate about 250,000 people of all ages, economic backgrounds, and education levels. It is a family-oriented event. The majority of attendees are from Boise and neighboring communities. This is truly an event for all. The beneficiary is the Boise Art Museum. Again, this is our fundraiser, and 2024 marks 70 years. So highlights for the event, shopping from more than 240 artists, dining from 28 food vendors. We have the Children's Art Tent run by Boise Art Museum and the Sculpture Garden Pub. Boise Art Museum's Art in the Park supports the city's vision, mission, and values to create a city for everyone. Again, a truly an event for everyone. This welcoming event embraces diversity in our community and promotes the visual arts as a thriving part of our local economy and a benefit to all. This is our layout map, and I'll go through the highlights here. The layout has not changed from previous years. You'll see the artist booths are positioned throughout the park, and they're shown with numbers throughout the layout. The food vendor locations are indicated by black dots, and most are along the perimeter and roadways and parking stalls. There are 3 welcome centers placed at each of the pathway entrances. The information booth, which is BAM staff headquarters, is located just next to the entrance to the Sculpture Garden Pub there behind the museum. This is the place for lost children, vulnerable adults. The first aid station is just there as well. 1 ambulance will be parked there, and then there will be an additional ambulance in the parking lot just to the north, just near the Children's Art Tent. Also indicated on the map are 3 bike corrals, which will also serve as scooter parking areas. You'll see the little bike icons. They are all located on the turf areas. Accessible parking is available in the north parking area that will be monitored by security personnel. An upcoming slide will show more details about the traffic and parking plan. For security and medical, BAM has worked with Signal Security for Art in the Park many years running. They will be on site beginning Tuesday, September 3rd, and their responsibilities will include traffic and parking control, and their schedule includes overnight patrols. They will provide the wristbands at the entrance to the Sculpture Garden Pub to those 21 and older. Boise Police will also be on site. For the medical plan, this will be Injury Care EMS, another team we've worked with many years running. Again, there will be an ambulance at the first aid station and another in the parking lot. A BAM golf car will be available for transport within the event footprint. This slide shows the layout of the Sculpture Garden Pub, which is the fenced area within BAM's footprint just behind the museum building. The hours, each day we will open 1 hour after the event at large opens, so 11 a.m. Craig Stein Beverage is the beer and wine provider. BAM staffs the pub with tip certified bartenders. Signal Security, again, will be checking IDs at the gate and providing wristbands. There is 1 entrance on the south side of the garden indicated there in red, and then 1 exit on the north side of the garden, and that will be marked as an emergency exit. This gate will remain unlocked during business hours, but open. BAM is committed to accessibility, which speaks to our institutional values and serves the needs of all in our community. Our plans include accessible restrooms, accessible parking, volunteer-sighted guides, and wheelchairs available for borrowing. We have provided artists and food vendors with accessibility guidelines, which include entrance and pathway measurements and service counter height recommendations. BAM has made accessibility improvements to our website, and there will be a web page detailing information on these accessibility features. For trash and recycling, this is our detailed plan. Thank you to Republic, Boise City Public Works, and Parks and Recreation for their support in this critical piece. So this details the container and removal plan. Of course, all vendors will be provided with the low waste guide. BAM volunteers assist with collecting recycling within the park during the event. This slide shows details about parking areas and traffic, including barricade locations. There will be no road closures, we're just limiting vehicle access to roadways within the park and the parking areas. Barricades will be monitored by security staff. They are instructed to allow emergency vehicles through. The area between the west entrance to the mall path and the band shell will be designated a loading zone for artists and food vendors. And then the roadway that continues to the south along the green belt will be treated as a fire lane. So no double parking, no stopping. This will be monitored by security staff, volunteers, and BAM staff. One change for this year is that we are not restricting traffic in the east end of the park. There will be barricades at the Boise Pavilion parking lot in order to protect that parking for vendors. Again, parking will be reserved within the park, will be reserved for those with disability parking permits for vendors, sponsors, staff, and service providers. Arrangements are for parking exterior to the park are made with Park Boy, BSU Brady Garage, Boise Town Square Mall, and Ann Morrison Park for free or at special rates. There will be detailed information on BAM's free shuttle service along with the parking information on our website and in our printed guide. And that brings me to the end of things.
All right, thank you. It's great to see you again, and we made it through this presentation without a fire drill, so I can't remember, was that last year?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, good memory.
Perfect. So Tanya with ACHD, she has this on her radar for notification purposes. Obviously, you're not closing any roads or anything, so she didn't need anything from you. We'll move on to Public Works and Republic Services with Ed.
Cool. Hi, thank you, Andrea. Props to you again. You're always reaching out early. I mean, it's very much appreciated, and you always have everything ready to go. So thank you for that. First, Conrad had nothing to comment as of now, so I'll just get that out of the way. Do you normally get a glass cart or dumpster? I can't remember.
We do, yeah.
Okay. Great, and you're all set up to make sure all those bottles are put in that. Is it a cart or dumpster you normally get?
It's a dumpster.
A dumpster. Okay, cool. Okay, great. And then for the alcohol, remind me how things are poured or served, like cans or cups or
Cans and cups, yeah.
cans and cups. Okay, perfect. And then yeah, so I know. Just want to make sure. So all the yellow bins, I know that you've got that noted on your plan, but yeah, they'll be coming from Republic Services. Have you nailed down that they'll be able to deliver those 75 recycle containers?
Conrad did mention that they will be in one of the roll-offs when they deliver those.
Perfect. Okay. Well, great. Well, hey, thank you very much, Andrea. And I'll just shoot you an email here with just a couple of small things, but that's it. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
We don't have any impacts from your event, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
From the VRT side, looks like there's not road closures outside the park, so we're good there. We got the parking and shuttle map on Monday, so thanks for sending that over. Couple questions. So at Town Square Mall, it looks like we're gonna run shuttles from Town Square to downtown. Are you planning on using the transit island out there?
We do. We've arranged to keep our signage on the opposite side.
The east side?
Mhm.
Perfect. That sounds great. And then I'm curious about a few stop locations you have noted downtown on the map. Looks like 15th and Main, 11th and Main, 9th and Myrtle, and maybe Americana and Shoreline. Do you know where the stop locations are going to be? Or I'm looking at, are there any conflicts with any bus stops? Do we need to be aware of kind of stacking of buses as we move around?
Yeah, the stops should be indicated on the map.
Okay.
So yeah, please do let me know if those
So
are
we
in
could
conflict.
follow up offline. I'll send you an email We can
Perfect.
coordinate that, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Nothing more from me.
Hi, Andrea. Thank you for the presentation. You are good to go as far as CDH is concerned. You had that email exchange with Natasha and myself earlier this week, and one of our inspectors will be more than happy to participate in that vendors meeting. So thank you very much.
That's great, thank you.
All right, we have your COI for the city of Boise and it's meets the criteria, so you're good to go.
Thank you.
Congratulations on celebrating 70 years this year. It's exciting. Our team will continue to work with you as we move closer to the event.
Thank you so much.
Cameo? Oh, she jumped off. Okay. I apologize. Cameo did have to hop off the call, so we'll have her follow up with you if she needs anything, but I know we already did the safety and security meeting, so I don't think there's any expectations that you don't know about. Okay, thanks, Trey.
Hey, good morning. I don't think you're any strangers, so you answered my questions with access along Julie Davis. You know, it's not only within the park, but also river rescues along the park there and stuff like that to go on. So if you're on that, I'm good. Just ensure that I don't know if you have yet, I didn't look, if you've got your Boise Fire Special Events permit in, that just requests an inspection date, and then we kind of cover everything throughout the park.
We
So-
did, it was a little while ago.
Okay,
so-
perfect. Yeah, that's probably why I'm not picking up on them. And then no stranger to the food vendors, any of those cooking with grease-laden vapors within the confines of a truck or trailer need that fire department inspection current sticker, which is green this year. Ensure that spacing's there, 10 foot. And then just one thing I think that was, I think you guys do a good job of, but even with all the 10 by 10 tents and everything, making sure that they're weighted down. So we don't have a bunch of tents flying around through the event. But other than that, thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing from my side.
Hey, Andrea, great event. Looks like you have your nonprofit already with the state police for your alcohol. So if you could just at some point do the city alcohol permit, week to 10 days in advance is fine for me. It looks like everything else looks good. So no other questions from me.
I'm pretty sure I submitted that.
Okay, it
but
maybe just
please
hasn't
let
hit
me
my queue yet. That's it. If it's in, that's great.
know. Okay,
I'll
it was a
take-
little while ago.
Okay, I'll take a look at it when it
Okay.
comes through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Andrea. Great presentation. Nothing for me. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you again for being here. If you need anything between now and then, please let us know. And otherwise, we'll see you for the walkthrough.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Uh-huh. We have a couple of events this weekend. I'm just looking for sign-offs actually from Boise Fire Operations. So I'll reach out to BC Detman unless you're aware of any issues. Do you know it's the San Ignacio Basque Festival?
From what Jesse said, he signed off everything on the
Okay.
prevention side. So I didn't look what the operations said.
Okay, no problem. I can reach out to him. No worries. And then the Water Lantern Festival as well. We'll be in the park. We do meet again on August 14th. So there's one more event a couple weeks out, but the Boise Soul Food Festival is on the 10th. So just keep that in mind as you're working through that. If you need any assistance with anything, please let us know. Does anyone else have any comments, questions, concerns, anything they need to discuss while we're here? All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We're adjourned.